Support court is now in session. Judge's case number JVB1085, Campbell case.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies, you may be seated. I'm Judge Brian D. Woodard, and ma'am, you brought this case before me. Matter of fact, before I get started on anything, I see your both last names are Campbell.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So what is your first name?
Kelly Campbell.
Kelly Campbell.
Yes.
And you, ma'am?
I'm Rochelle, but you can...
This courtroom is about to erupt as blood turns against blood in a brutal custody battle. Kelly versus Rachel, two cousins locked in a no-holds-barred fight over a 6-year-old boy. Kelly isn't holding back. She calls out Rachel, painting her as an unfit mother who recklessly dumps her child in dangerous situations just to chase her own selfish lifestyle. But Rachel isn't going down without a fight. She fires back hard, insisting she has everything under control, even if her parenting choices raise eyebrows or full-blown alarms. This case spirals fast, and the truth that comes out, let's just say you won't see it coming. Now let's settle this. If a family member was neglecting their kid, would you step in or stay out of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive straight into this high-stakes family showdown.
Because if I forget it, because ruin Kelly. All right, so let's get started. So go ahead and tell me about this.
My name is Kelly Campbell.
Leaving a child in 105 degrees heat with nothing but a gym fan. That's not just poor judgment. It's dangerously careless. But here's the real question. Does this give Kelly the legal right to take custody? Custody battles aren't won just because parenting is questionable. The court needs solid proof of neglect or real danger. So is Rachel just making a few bad calls, or is this a serious failure to provide basic care? What do you think? Should lacking AC and proper education be enough to lose custody, or is that crossing the line? Drop your opinions in the comments.
He has to offer. I brought my cousin to court because she's attempting to want to get involved in her son's life all of a sudden. But her choices, they're poor. She has childish behavior and she's not taking care of her responsibilities. Simple.
She's not taking care of her responsibilities. How many, does she have children with you or living with you or?
She has a son, 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes.
And so what makes her childish?
She's just,
girl,
she
I'm grown.
Street. She's
Girl,
Hold on one second. We're going to get to that
I'm
part.
real grown.
Okay, Miss Grown. One thing about it is grown people don't have to tell other grown people that they're grown. So just wait till I get to you, and then we're going to go ahead and get this train moving. But I'm going to get...
Kelly isn't holding back. She's laying it all out in court. No air conditioning in scorching triple-digit heat, a barely working fan, and warm, unrefrigerated Capri Suns. But it doesn't stop there. She claims Rachel has completely neglected her child's education, leaving his future hanging by a thread. In the eyes of the law, it's not just about bad parenting. It's about safety. Judges won't hesitate if there's proof that a child's well-being is at risk. But here's where things get interesting. Can Rachel turn the tables? Does she have a defense strong enough to shock the courtroom and change everything?
Let's go.
If you could change the R to a H. But the point, what I'm saying is...
We're not going there, but go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and over like
Emotions
that.
are high.
I understand, but let's go ahead and get to business.
She's childish because she chooses to mix up her priorities.
Okay.
It's not flying, Your Honor. Her child, you know it's about 105 degrees. She has no AC. She has a gym fan circulating in the home.
The window was cracked. The window was cracked.
Ladies, let me go ahead and get something straight right here because I just want this to go smoothly. And I know how ladies are sometimes. Y'all like to talk and get your point across, and you're going to be heard. I promise you, you're going to be heard. But being heard this way is not going to fly. So let's go ahead and continue without any interruptions. Ms. Rowe.
Got it.
When it's time for you to go, I will go back to you, Ms. Rowe.
Yes.
But for right now, please keep quiet. Can we do that? Let's get this show back on the road.
Thank you, because she's rude.
I didn't ask about what she is. I'm just asking you to go ahead and continue to tell me what you're going to do.
I stand corrected.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Let's go.
I apologize. As I mentioned, her 6-year-old is in very poor conditions. Circulating hot air with hot air is not going to fly. As I mentioned, the temperatures are high. She leaves a bowl of noodles chicken flavor for her son, Capri Suns that aren't refrigerated. The child is so behind educationally. All he know how to do is whoa. It's just a lot going on. I don't like it, and I am going to be the provider for her child. And that's it. Point blank.
Okay.
Hold up, did Rachel really just admit to leaving her 6-year-old home alone for 2 hours just to go on a date? And her reasoning? She was out looking for a stepdad over a pork chop special. I've heard some wild defenses in court, but this might be top-tier ridiculous. Forget taking the cake. Rachel just served up the pork chop excuse of the year.
Her child, Caleb.
Okay.
And I would like her to pay me since she wants other men to pay her. But that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to tell me before I move on to Ms. Rose?
I want you to see that she's truly childish, lax.
I didn't ask for insults. I said, is there anything that you want to tell me?
I didn't know that was an insult. It's really factual. No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, this is going to be a challenge. Whew, don't you know? Miss Rowe, let's go. Continue this show.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, so they keep saying I'm crazy, right? They took my baby from me and gave it to her because I had a little date. I spent the block. I left him at the house by himself.
You spent the what?
The block. We went to Perry's. Me and his, he was tall, dark, and handsome. But I was going to bring him a pork chop special back. So I went on this little date, left him at the house by himself. I gave him some.
Now, this is where the judge finally steps in, and not a moment too soon. Leaving a child alone in scorching heat with nothing but a wobbly fan and a cracked window. That's not just bad judgment. It's flat out dangerous. And the judge doesn't sugarcoat it. This child is not a pet. If this case had landed in Child Protective Services, it could have triggered an emergency intervention on the spot. The big question now, will Rachel finally realize how serious this is, or will she double down, defending the indefensible?
Like 2 hours. We
2
had
hours.
reservations, so we're going to get right in.
So you made reservations and you left your child with her for just 2 hours. Was it just for that night?
It
or
was
it
not 2 hours, Your Honor. It was 6
Okay.
hours
All right.
plus 2 bonus hours because she wanted to have a rendezvous.
All right, hold on one second. Okay, continue this. Yeah, this
Thank
is
you.
interesting. I really want to hear this one.
She think because she got a pool.
No,
in her
well, I ain't
backyard.
worried about that. Let's get to the facts. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry. So I spent the block, ran to the Perry's with the fella. You know what I'm saying? He was fine. Okay. So look, I'm trying to get him a stepdad. I was gonna bring him back a pork chop special. Have you had one of them Perry's pork chops?
You trying to get a
It's like
stepdaddy?
this,
Listen,
it's-
you're trying to go and get a stepdaddy
For the
with
baby.
for a pork chop with a pork chop. Is
I
that
was
how?
gonna bring him the pork chop bag.
And so you expect him to be stepdaddy because you brought him bringing the pork chop because you were bringing. I want him to be
I'm
my
bringing the
stepdaddy.
baby.
So maybe if I give him a pork chop, he gonna be my.
I'll bring the baby back a pork chop.
Oh, the
He
baby, you bring the baby a pork
I
chop,
went
not
on
the man
date.
a pork chop.
No, the man was gonna buy the baby a pork chop.
Okay.
That's how I'm taking care of him.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, man.
So me and the man went out to dinner. I get back, they all, you're not supposed to leave your baby here, this and this and this. I'm like, he's 6 years old. He got some noodles. He got a couple of Capri Suns. I cracked.
Just when it seems like things can't get any more complicated, Kelly drops a bombshell. She claims Rachel only shows up once a year to claim her son on her taxes. Let's be clear, falsely claiming dependents is no joke. It can trigger serious legal consequences, including IRS investigations and potential fraud charges. If Kelly has solid evidence to back this up, Rachel could be facing way more than just a custody battle. This could turn into a legal nightmare on multiple fronts.
Ma'am, you cannot be serious right now.
Dead.
Are you really serious right now? Number one, you're talking about. What? First of all, let me say this. How hot is it outside right now?
105. That's the car.
Hold on. I'm asking her. Because you're already at 105, because you're already talking, you heated up, and I understand.
I'm sorry, I'm
It's
passionate.
how hot is it outside right
Well, that day it was, cause we went at night.
now? I didn't ask whether you went at night or anything, because it's still hot at night as well, too.
I mean, about 80, 90, it cooled down. But he had a fan.
And you got a fan. You gave the child a fan in the car.
I cracked the window.
You cracked it. So what is this child, a dog?
No. Caleb, he's a human.
But it's hot outside and you're going to give the child a fan. And then what
And
else?
Capri Sun.
And a Capri Sun.
Two.
Now let me ask you something. Would you want a hot car or a hot environment and somebody give you a Capri Sun?
No, I was at Perry's.
You know what? Sometimes you just don't have the words to say. And I guess this is one of those times where, Lord have mercy, I do not have the words to say. Now, this lady right here, Miss, what'd you say your first name was again?
Kelly with a capital K.
Miss Kelly with a capital K.
The best project
Okay,
manager.
I didn't ask if you was the best or the worst, because you have no proof to tell me if you did right or wrong. It comes to those project managers or whatever else you say. You don't have to build the words up
work
to me.
too, Kelly.
Okay, but